Welcome to
the Pew Coffee Cup Mug Show.
It tastes so good.
With our coffee cup mugs.
Available on michaelalig.com.
And projectarchive.com/shop.
We were just talking about a tried and true TV.
Well, I don't know
concept.
how. Or
should we say tired and true?
It's tried, but I don't know how. Tried and tired. Tried and untrue.
Tired and true.
Concept where when a show is
and I never knew that it actually had a name. Michael calls it jumping the shark.
Ernie doesn't know much. I've been in Peru for 17 years, and I know more about popular culture than Ernie does.
The Institute of Higher Learning at Peru.
Yes. The term jumping the shark, Ernie never knew what it meant. And that's, of course, all you pures know. But for the one out there that doesn't, I'm going to explain. And that is when a show is kind of at its sell-by date, but it's still making money, and the producers want to keep it going, and so they add a new
Chugging
character.
along, they're running out of ideas, much like this show.
And it's nothing like this show. And if it is like this show, maybe we can get another co-host.
Well, stay tuned for that.
And another co-host. The star's not going anywhere, but maybe the co-host will. Where they
you really need to work on your self-esteem, because just because you're the co-host doesn't mean that anybody wants to get rid of you.
I don't think you're fooling anybody out there.
You're more than a co-host.
You're right. I'm the star. So the show adds a character in hopes of getting
up the ratings,
squeezing another year's worth of
getting just that other extra element of the demographic to tune in.
And sometimes it works. Dark Shadows. Dark Shadows was a
huge hit.
No, it was a huge flop.
To cite an ancient
It was a flop in the 60s or whatever it was.
You practically had to be a vampire just to remember that.
Right. And then they added a vampire, and the show instantly went to #1. And then there's what else?
Well, then we had one of my favorite was Star Trek Voyager, where that's kind of trailing along, and all of a sudden they add 7 of 9, the Borg diva. And all of a sudden, everybody starts paying attention.
And she's very sexy.
Right, because you couldn't ignore her huge breasts in the skin-tight outfit.
So there's a two thing. They added a little bit of sex appeal to the show, and
get more men watching.
And they had a little bit of the robot. She was like a little bit robot.
Right, which of course nobody looked at the little robotic thing on her forehead because they were all busy looking at her cleavage.
Right. And then there's Friday the 13th and Jason,
Jason versus Freddy.
Where they put the two together.
Because it'll be twice as good.
Twice as good. And it was twice as bad.
Probably more than twice as bad.
And then there's Roseanne, where they
where she wins $1 million.
Right.
And then there's like the next season where she's rich.
And it ruins the show because there's no more struggle when she's like got everything she wants. It's boring. So what was the point of all?
In the spirit of jumping the shark, we're considering introducing our own new co-host.
Yes, and he's going to be coming up right after the commercial. I think.
Screen test right after this.
Yeah, screen test. Good soon.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the Pew, and I'm here with our new co-host, Frankie Della Franco.
Hey, what's this with the Pew? This is the show, and now we're calling it the Frankie Della Franco Show.
No, we're calling it the Pew.
No, this is the Frankie. I got a cousin. My cousin will tell you.
We've already
the Frankie Della Franco Show.
Cut.
No cut. My cousin cut you. This is the Frankie Della Franco Show.
It's the Pew, Frankie. We've already branded it.
That's too bad. We're gonna rebrand. I own the company, the rebrand. My cousin owns the company.
All right, bring on the next.
No, there isn't no next.
The next screen
this
test.
Is the new that Michael Alig. He's wearing the cement platform shoes at the bottom of the river.
Michael, get him out of here, Michael.
No, Michael is wearing the platform cement shoes at the bottom of the river. I am the new.
Yes, because
No.
Get him out of here. Get him fucking out of here. Okay.
No, quick.
All right.
Ernie.
All right.
Quick. There's no. Quick, undo this. This guy,
Frankie Delafranco.
Yes,
he's not going to be our new.
They own like the children's television workshop or something, and they said that they were gonna. They tried to put my feet in this bucket full of cement and took me to the. They were trying to kill me and take my place on the show.
Yeah, from Sesame Street to being part of
this is what happens when you put ads in the paper looking for people.
Yes, okay. Jumping the shark, not a successful strategy for you.
Oh, man. Oh.
Okay, let's get to bitches wanna know.
Oh, my puke cup.
Take a sip.
MichaelAlig.com, projectx.com,
archive.com.
Shut up.
All right.
Oh, I feel so much better drinking from my puke cup.
Experiment gone wrong. Perhaps the next audition will be better.
There will be no more auditions.
No, I want to jump the shark.
We will not jump any shark.
Okay.
We have jumped the last shark.
You were almost buried under the shark.
Yes, Jaws. All right.
Bitches want to know, darker than black one.
There is no. I know darker than black.
Yeah, you almost.
I had a hood over my head. Can you tell us the club kids that became very successful and wealthy? Besides you, of course.
I don't know about
that. For example, James St. James.
Who stayed in a $5,000 a night room.
Yeah, well, paid for by World of Wonder. And Amanda. Okay.
Very popular.
Okay.
Although I don't think she's wealthy either, because she lives
she
lives in like some little room.
Yeah, but that's because she's frugal. And she doesn't see spending, $10,000 on, air basically.
Right. She'd rather spend it on shoes.
She's smart. She saves her money. She saves her money. I know she saves her money. Take her out for lunch once, you'll see. Well, okay.
There's lots of examples of people from the club scene.
Right, well, then there's...
Well, I went on to...
Well, of course there's... that one... Well, there's always...
Well, there's Desi Monster, a very successful artist now. Desi Santiago.
He's a hugely successful artist.
He had a fabulous installation, I guess it was like 2 years ago at Miami Art... Is it Art Basel?
Yeah, and then in France for the shoe.
And he's traveled all over the world now.
In France, what was that? The shoe where he did the windows for the shoe exhibition, or
I'm blanking out on the name of it, but he's
Louis Vuitton.
Oh, okay.
And of course Walt is a huge Cessna Wallpaper is a huge artist now, another huge artist, and he just did the 40-page spread in Candy Magazine,
which is awesome.
Zach Santiago, he was one of the first photographers for Project X. He's now a huge, he's now the creative director of Coach, or maybe he's even been hired for something bigger than that. He's always being upgraded.
You're talking about Zach Augustine, not Zach. You called him Zach Santiago. Okay. It's a mashup of Desi Monster and Zach.
And then Augustine, yes, of course. Then there's RuPaul and Amanda, who makes, I'm sure she doesn't go anywhere for less than thousands of dollars to show up and flown all over the world. Richie Rich, Kyoki, Michael Tron. I could go on and on. Everybody except us. Randy and Fenton. People don't know this, I don't think.
He's talking about Randy, Barbato, and Fenton.
They're such good friends of mine that
for those of you who don't know, the founders of World of Wonder,
right,
that produced RuPaul's Drag Race,
and who used to be a DJ at my parties.
Yes, they used to perform on the stage at Danceteria. They had a band, whose name I can't remember.
The Fabulous Pop-Tarts.
The Fabulous Pop-Tarts,
and they were sort of like the Pet Shop Boys.
Right.
Like a mix between the Pet Shop Boys and Depeche Mode. And things have kind of gone topsy-turvy now, because whereas they used to be calling me saying, Michael, please, can you hire me for $50? Now I'm calling them saying, please, can you hire me for $50?
The answer is no.
Yeah, and the answer is no. Whereas the answer for me was always yes, Randy Fenton. So it seems as if every club kid has made it successful and are very rich, except for us, unless they're dead, like Ruben.
Well, I'm not rich, but I would say that I have a successful journalism career. So
you're successful.
My day job.
You're successful in other ways as well. You're successful because I think you lead a very comfortable life, and you're not struggling in the city in a city like New York where everybody is struggling to live here.
Yeah, not struggling.
And, you know, so you're successful in that way. And you're successful in that you are best friends with one of the most famous and known club kids of all time. So it's a lot. Although you don't let that be known enough. So,
see you next time.
Bye.